This little guy came off of Kickstarter. I think it's about 2 years old. It was the Roderic's Next Tube. So it's supposed to look like those little Nexi tubes, like the little. But it has a bunch of little different screens in it, and then there was a backlight on each side. They only delivered about half their Kickstarter. Delivered a half-assed version of software. This thing really kind of only worked if it was permanently plugged into a computer.
So it had a lot going against it.
Yeah, like it was supposed to have fancy software where like you could customize your display. I did make my own like clock faces and load them in, but you had to half them in the program and all sorts of weird stuff just to make it work. And then it never synced with weather. It wouldn't automatically do daylight savings time. You had to manually put the MAC IP address into your router to even get it to connect to a Wi-Fi router. And then I had 2 screens that were going dim. And, they advertised you could pop it off and buy new screens.
I'll say it's been on the life of our channel so far.
Until about a week and a half ago when my computer died. I had to get a new motherboard. And then I didn't plug this back in, but right before I did the video, I wanted to show people that some of the screens were dimming and that it didn't do stuff.
Didn't get a chance.
It does nothing. Yeah, it was one of the coolest things I had. I didn't mind that I just had a cool looking clock that didn't have all its features because it looked good. Now it's dead. And this was, I believe, $100. Came in late, like every Kickstarter. But I was one of the lucky ones that had them. Now I don't.
Now you don't. So what are we going to do? Whatever will we do? He's just going to leave. He's sad.
I'm sad. I actually am kind of sad. It doesn't even turn on anymore.
Yeah, I would be too. Broke. A whole pile of broken stuff over there. Video to video. Just all out that way.
I haven't used this thing yet.
What is this thing?
I found this IPSTUBE. This looks like it was much of the same promises as the other device. It has supports for photos, a clock, lighting, weather, a mini program, and share.
Well, sharing is caring.
It does have an app. See what we get. And this one is you can get for about 40 or 50 bucks. I think there's also a version that does or doesn't have an LED light base.
Oh yeah!
$5 to $10 cheaper depending when you find it. So we got microfiber cloth, great, cool, whatever.
Wonder how the other one broke.
I'm just mad that one doesn't work. I'm tired of some instructions. There's a cable in here somewhere.
We'll take it. So, IPS tube.
Oh, look at that! It's a little braided USB-C cable. That's a promising start.
It's a good start. Device pairing, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi.
Look at that.
It's got dragons on one
We
side.
got dragons on the back. It's a metal base instead of wood. These are considerably bigger screens.
Some rubber feet on the bottom. Satisfying peel.
So
Need your micro cloth because of your grubby hands.
let's plug this bad boy in, just see what happens.
Alright. Set it there. Look at it fly. Oh, it is lighting up.
Oh, it has lights on the back there in the bottom.
Yep, you can't. I don't. Oh, there you go.
Oh, well.
That's you got a bunch of.
We got a bunch of soccer fans
Yeah.
that are all females for different countries. It's blinking pictures. Solid default screen, I guess.
The screens are extremely vivid and detailed.
There. So now we got the little next tube rip-off looking pattern. So it's got a single button on the back.
We'll go ahead and connect it up.
All right.
So through time magic.
And we did a few things.
We did.
We got the app set up. Pretty simple. Bluetooth, and then you, if you would like to, you tell it your Wi-Fi connection. You can change the color of the LEDs behind it. You can add your local weather, which it pulled the time down. And then you can also access your phone's camera roll and put in a different picture for all the numbers, 0 through 9. And then you just tap the button once on the back to switch to the different, I think it holds 3 or 4 different, it says 4 different dial plates, what they call them, but yeah, 4 different templates.
You can use your own photos too.
Yeah, so you pull them in, like so, pull them in off your camera roll, and it's kind of weird that it's got dragons on the back, but I guess you'll never see the back of it. Yeah, I mean, it's simple, it's streamlined. The setup, took what, maybe 2 minutes in the app with no clue what was happening.
I mean, it's kind of what we do. Yeah. The little bit we've messed with it, how does that compare to your other one when it was in its full glory?
So this one, the screens actually look probably better, except it's hard to tell because their default little Nexitube face is kind of low res looking.
Which part?
Their current numbers are kind of low res. I don't know, like compared to how crisp and clear the weather screen is, I think these weren't saved high res.
Right, but you can replace those. So
yeah, I mean the screens look good, and I feel like they probably are. If one of these screens goes out, it looks like you could just probably pop it out and buy a replacement screen and pop it in and be good. Like it's probably made out of.
So let's be clear though, he was talking about the picture that came on the device, not that it was a low res screen, because the screens are actually really good looking. But the
default face they picked, to me, it looks a lot
to be desired.
Yeah, because the pictures of the soccer girls looked better than the pictures looked a lot more high res than this. They put it on there by default. I mean, so I wish the tubes themselves were a little closer fit to the screens, because the point of this with the screens is to make it look like it's coming from the tube.
Let's hold up the other one to it. I know
it might be broken.
Threw it across the room, but get in your golf cart and come back.
So, I mean, here's your size and scale difference. But you see, like the left and right is a lot more tighter fit on the tube to the screen. This actually weighs more than this, but it's got a full thick metal base. I mean, I like
the bigger one.
Yeah, I mean, I like the bigger screens. It looks like it works.
Yeah.
I mean, the
app's a little wonky. We'll show you some footage of that, but
it's nowhere near as bad as the apps for the 3D fan behind us. Those apps were garbage. Obviously, it still works just fine, but I mean, for the price difference, this had a couple extra settings, like it had a timer and stuff if you hit the different buttons, but half the price.
And some little touches. I have to say, I do like these little metal circles on the base of the tubes. I like this tube just goes straight in.
Yeah, I do like the styling of this with the wood base versus the sci-fi look.
A little more elegant, but obviously it's what's in the tube that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no dragons.
No dragons.
It's just chips. Chips and LEDs on the back. Who wants that? But
I mean, it does do what it says on the box. Said photos, clock, lighting, weather.
And share it.
You could share your clock faces, which I didn't see like a library of ones that other people have made.
I think they just meant you could like walk this next door and just say you guys can use it.
No, you actually in the app you can share.
Want to borrow my test tube clock?
You can share these, but the thing is, like, you can share them. I don't know where you view other people's. I feel like there should be like a library somewhere of where everybody's uploaded these, and you can just grab them. Oh, never mind. I lied. There's a picture community tab.
Yeah.
Let's there we go.
Let's try some picture communities.
Let's find. Okay, there. Look, Nick's a nicer. Look, this one actually says on the nicer pictures than the numbers of the default.
There we go. Somebody else had a problem with that. Do you have to buy them? You don't have to buy them, do you?
Oh, just hit follow. So then once you pick a community face, it gives you the options of which of the 4 spots. So I'm sending this one to the default spot, which is not this one. The default one is the soccer girls.
It says downloading.
It's taking a minute, so. Alright, so I already replaced the default face with, apparently lots of people agreed that those ones were low res because, I mean, they look...
That didn't take long at all.
A lot better. Let's see.
Actually, I'm going to turn off the ring lights. Bear with me, folks. A little better. We got some close-up video of it, but
yeah, so that's cool though. There's a whole community that you just have your phone on the same.
Yeah, and the download speeds.
The download's not bad.
No. What do you get? 3 you can store in there at any given time? Did it say?
I think it's 4 at any given time. The only I guess to me little nitpicky thing I have is that they can't customize. You can't customize the colon in there. So once you turn on the weather, you get the colon in there, and you don't get a custom one. So if you want the weather on here, you gotta live with just blinking white dots instead of someone be able to make something cool.
I bet somebody could, but they don't put the... Unless it's something in the creation of it.
That's what I'm wondering. I wonder if it's something... Because if you upload your own pictures, you can only upload 0 through 9. There's no colon spot to add a picture to. So
okay.
I did see in the app there's a spot to check the firmware, which I did, and it says it's up to date. So maybe they'll update the firmware.
Yeah.
And let you do that. Because I think it's cool to have the weather. I don't mind if the weather's not stylized.
You don't need the seconds.
But,
but
I don't like the right smack in the middle not being stylized.
Yeah.
I don't mind the end one being different, but right in the middle. That's really my only complaint on this thing.
So IPSTUBE, get it together.
Yeah, and like I said, this ranges from, there's a one that's $5 or $10 more expensive, and it adds an RGB light on the bottom of the base, and the base is a little bit bigger. But I just personally didn't want a glowy RGB light off the bottom of this where I was going to have it sitting. Either backed this and got screwed and never got one.
Got burned.
Or if yours apparently just shuts off at random and never comes back on, this is a very nice replacement with an app that has a community that you can already download faces.
Cheaper, too.
Yeah, half the price and probably good, 25% bigger. The screens are almost probably double the size, I bet.
Yeah.
IPSTUBE, we'll try to find a link to send people somewhere to buy it, but this is one of those things that you can find relatively easy just by searching from all sorts of vendors.
Yeah.
So
I would absolutely unpack it myself.
Unpack it and then not even reboot this one. Just
crash it. The glass will shatter. Every time you throw stuff. Or,
you know.
Television.
I'm excited. I get to have the clock the other thing was supposed to be.
That's right.
Find it, buy it, enjoy.
And the other guys, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing these days.
Yeah, you better not be making clocks.
Yeah. We've had it. 2 more unpacks, and we will see you guys next time. Appreciate you joining, subscribe, and thank you as always.
Do all the fun stuff.
Yep.